Have you ever noticed how your dad's old car just keeps going, no matter how many miles are on it, but your newer car, with way less mileage, is already giving you headaches with warning lights and repairs? This is not bad luck. This is the reality of modern automotive engineering. Cars built in the last 10 years break down 3 times more often than vehicles from the 1990s, despite all the advances in technology and manufacturing. The average repair cost for a 10-year-old car today is $1,200 per year, compared to just $400 per year for cars from the 1990s when adjusted for inflation. Modern vehicles are failing faster, costing more to fix, and leaving drivers stranded more often than the primitive cars our parents drove. The automotive industry wants you to believe newer means better, but the data tells a completely different story. Welcome to Built-in Boost, where we break down the hype, cut through the marketing, and give you the real story behind the badge. Today we are breaking down exactly why your modern car is actually less reliable than the vehicles from 20 years ago. Hit that like button and let's dive in. Number 1. Too many electronics. Your grandfather's 1985 Toyota Corolla had about 10 electrical components total: headlights, taillights, radio, ignition system, and basic gauges. That car could run with half its electrical system dead and still get you to work every day. Today's average car has over 150 electronic control modules talking to each other constantly through miles of wiring harnesses. Your 2023 Toyota Camry has more computing power than the space shuttle that landed on the moon. But all that technology creates hundreds of new failure points. Every electronic component is a potential breakdown waiting to happen. Power window motors fail and cost $300 to replace. Door lock actuators quit working and dealers charge $250 per door. The backup camera stops working and suddenly you need an $800 repair for what used to be called turning your head around. Modern cars have electronic throttle bodies, electronic steering, electronic parking brakes, and electronic everything else. When these systems fail, you cannot drive the car at all. Old cars had mechanical linkages. If something broke, you could usually limp home and fix it yourself with basic tools. The more electronics you add, the more things can go wrong. Simple math that automakers choose to ignore because electronics are cheaper to manufacture than reliable mechanical systems. Number 2. Plan to break down. Here's something that will make you angry. Car companies actually design parts to fail right after your warranty runs out. This is not some crazy conspiracy theory. This is real business strategy called planned obsolescence. Think about it this way. Your dad's old pickup truck from the 1990s is still running strong at 200,000 miles, but your 3-year-old SUV already needs major repairs even though you barely hit 60,000 miles. That timing is not an accident. Car manufacturers have teams of engineers whose job is figuring out exactly how long each part should last. They want components to survive the warranty period, then break down so you have to pay for expensive repairs or buy a new car entirely. The numbers prove this strategy works perfectly. Modern cars need their first major repair around 75,000 to 80,000 miles on average. Most warranties end at 60,000 miles. See the pattern here? When your transmission starts acting up right after the warranty expires, the dealership makes more money fixing it than they made selling you the car originally. They get paid twice for the same vehicle, once when you buy it, and again when it breaks down exactly when they planned. Number 3. Turbo engines everywhere. Walk into any dealership today and try finding a car without a turbo engine. Good luck with that search because manufacturers have basically eliminated naturally aspirated engines from their lineups. Every compact car, mid-size sedan, and even full-size trucks now come with turbocharged engines as standard equipment. Turbo engines promise better fuel economy and more power from smaller displacement, which sounds amazing on paper. The reality is these engines create way more heat, pressure, and stress on internal components than traditional engines ever did. A turbo spins at over 200,000 RPM and reaches temperatures above 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit. That tiny turbine has to survive these extreme conditions while being fed by your engine oil system. When turbo bearings fail, which happens frequently, you are looking at $3,000 to $5,000 in repairs. Modern turbo engines also require premium fuel, synthetic oil changes every 5,000 miles instead of 10,000 miles, and special cool-down procedures that most drivers ignore completely. Skip the cool-down period after highway driving and your turbo will cook itself from the inside out. Old naturally aspirated engines were simple, reliable, and lasted 300,000 miles with basic maintenance. Turbo engines start having problems around 100,000 miles and cost significantly more to maintain throughout their shortened lifespan. Number 4. CVT transmissions. Remember when automatic transmissions lasted 200,000 miles and the only maintenance they needed was a fluid change every few years? Those days are completely over thanks to the automotive industry's obsession with CVT transmissions that prioritize fuel economy over reliability. CVT stands for continuous continuously variable transmission, and these systems use a belt and pulley setup instead of traditional gears. Car manufacturers love CVTs because they help vehicles meet strict government fuel economy standards while being cheaper to manufacture than conventional automatics. The problem is CVT belts wear out much faster than metal gears ever did. Most CVT transmissions start developing problems around 80,000 to 100,000 miles, while traditional automatics routinely lasted 250,000 miles or more with proper maintenance. When a CVT transmission fails, you cannot rebuild it like the old automatics. The entire unit needs replacement, and that repair bill typically runs $4,500 to $6,500 depending on your vehicle. Compare that to rebuilding a traditional automatic transmission for $2,000 to $3,000. Major manufacturers like Nissan, Honda, and Subaru have faced class action lawsuits over premature CVT failures, yet they continue installing these unreliable transmissions in most of their vehicle lineup. The reason is simple: meeting fuel economy standards matters more to them than building transmissions that actually last. Number 5. Cheap interior materials. Step inside any car from the 1990s that has been well maintained, and you will find door panels, dashboard components, and trim pieces that still look and feel solid after decades of use. Now sit in a 5-year-old modern vehicle and notice how the interior already shows significant wear, fading, and deterioration. Automakers have systematically replaced durable materials with cheaper alternatives that look good in the showroom but fall apart quickly. Metal door handles became plastic units that snap off in cold weather. Solid wood or metal trim got swapped for fake plastic that peels and cracks within a few years. The most frustrating example is modern seat materials. Older cars use thick, durable cloth or genuine leather that aged gracefully and could be repaired easily. Today's vehicles come with thin synthetic materials and fake leather that starts cracking and peeling around 60,000 miles. Dashboard replacement costs demonstrate this problem perfectly. Replacing a cracked dashboard in a modern car runs $1,500 to $2,500 because the entire piece needs replacement. Old cars had separate components that could be repaired or replaced individually for under $300. Interior switches and controls also fail much faster now. Window switches, climate control knobs, and radio buttons are built with cheaper electronic components that stop working reliably after 80,000 to 100,000 miles. These same controls lasted the entire life of older vehicles without any problems. Number 6. Complex computer systems. Modern cars are basically computers on wheels, and just like your laptop or smartphone, they crash, freeze, and need constant updates to function properly. The difference is when your phone glitches, you restart it. When your car's computer system fails, you are stranded on the side of the highway. Today's vehicles have anywhere from 50 to 100 different computer modules controlling everything from engine timing to seat adjustments. These modules communicate through networks that can fail if just one sensor sends bad data to the system. A faulty oxygen sensor that costs $150 to replace can put your entire car into limp mode. The interconnected nature of these systems means problems cascade quickly. When the body control module fails, it can take out your lights, windows, locks, and even prevent the engine from starting. Diagnosing these issues requires expensive scan tools that most independent shops do not own, forcing you to visit dealerships that charge $150 per hour just for diagnostic time. Software updates have become routine maintenance items for cars, which sounds ridiculous but is completely normal now. Miss a critical update and your transmission might start shifting erratically, or your safety systems could malfunction without warning. Older cars had simple mechanical and basic electrical systems that any competent mechanic could diagnose and repair with standard tools. Computer-controlled systems require specialized training, expensive equipment, and access to manufacturer databases that keep repair costs artificially high. Number 7. Lightweight equals weak parts. Government fuel economy regulations have forced automakers to strip weight from every possible component, and the result is cars that feel flimsy compared to vehicles built just 20 years ago. This weight reduction comes at a serious cost to long-term durability and reliability. Modern car doors use hollow steel frames instead of solid metal construction. These lightweight doors save a few pounds but dent easily and develop rattles much faster than the heavy, solid doors on older vehicles. Hood and trunk panels are now made from thinner gauge steel that warps from minor impacts. Engine components have gotten the same lightweight treatment with predictable results. Aluminum engine blocks replaced cast iron blocks to save weight, but aluminum expands and contracts more with temperature changes, leading to head gasket failures and warped cylinder heads around 120,000 miles. Suspension components showcase this problem perfectly. Control arms, sway bar links, and strut mounts are now made from lightweight materials that wear out in 60,000 to 80,000 miles. The same parts on older cars lasted 150,000 miles or more because they were built with heavier, more durable materials. Even brake rotors have gotten thinner to reduce unsprung weight. These lightweight rotors warp faster, wear out quicker, and need replacement every 40,000 to 50,000 miles instead of the 100,000 plus miles that thicker rotors provided in older vehicles. Number 8. Over-engineered features. Car manufacturers keep adding unnecessary technology technology and complicated features that sound impressive in commercials, but turn into expensive repair nightmares once your warranty expires. Every new convenience feature is another system that can malfunction and leave you with a massive repair bill. Take power tailgates that open and close automatically with the push of a button. This feature replaces a simple manual latch that worked perfectly for decades and never needed repairs. Now you have motors, sensors, and control modules that fail regularly and cost $800 to $1,200 to fix when they stop working. Adaptive cruise control systems use radar sensors, cameras, and computer processors to maintain following distance automatically. When these sensors get dirty or misaligned, the entire system shuts down and requires expensive recalibration at the dealership. Traditional cruise control used a simple cable connection that lasted the life of the vehicle. Heated and cooled seats add comfort, but also heating elements, cooling fans, temperature sensors, and control circuits that all represent potential failure points. Repairing these systems cost $500 to $900 per seat, while older cars had simple manual seat adjustments that never broke down. Push-button start sounds futuristic until the proximity sensors fail and your car will not recognize your key fob. Replacing these systems runs $600 to $1,000, while traditional keys and ignition switches lasted decades and cost $50 to replace when needed. The harsh reality is that modern cars are built to break down faster and cost more to repair than the reliable vehicles from previous generations. While older cars had their problems, they were simpler to diagnose, cheaper to fix, and lasted significantly longer with basic maintenance. This trend is not going to reverse anytime soon. Automakers make more profit from repairs and replacement parts than they do from selling new cars, so reliability takes a backseat to planned obsolescence and cost-cutting measures. Remember that expensive does not always mean reliable when it comes to modern vehicles. Sometimes the most basic trim level with fewer electronic features will save you thousands in repair costs over the vehicle's lifetime. Drop a comment below and tell us about your worst experience with a modern car breaking down. Did you have a newer vehicle that gave you more problems than an older car you owned? We read every comment, and your stories help other viewers make better decisions. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.